apologize for any mistake I could be probably make. I will take about association of genetic variability with type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease in Mexican subjects. Perhaps the most wild-side statistic about human genetic diversity is that any two humans differ on average at about 1 in 1,000 DNA base pair. That is 0.1%. The difference contains much information about the evolutionary history of our species. In addition, the small proportion of difference that occur with genes can lead to critical inference about the effect of natural selection. Recently, the association of genetic polymorphisms with different diseases has highlighted the importance in the presentation, evolution, and prognosis of chronic degenerative disease, like type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease. However, functional and medical relevance variation may be rare or population-specific, require studies of diverse human populations to identify new risk factors. Mexico, as a country with a colonized population of extraordinary genetic diversity, which results population with a different genetic background. We can trace our ancestry back not only to indigenous, mestizos, and mulata groups, but also to Europe and Africa. Recently, in 2014, Moreno Estrada et al. Published that Mexico harbors great culture and ethnic diversity, yet fine-scale pattern or human genome-wide variation from this region remain largely uncharacterized. This studied genomic variation within Mexico for over 20 indigenous and 11 mestizos populations. They found that some groups are as different as Europeans are from East Asia. They demonstrate that a high degree of fine-scale genome structure across Mexico, a north component represented by Tarahumaras, Tepehuanos, and Hulsis, gradually decreasing southern, were gradually increasing a tricky Zapotecas and Mazatecas component. In Yucatan Peninsula and in his neighbor state of Chiapas, they found what we term what Mayan component. In less than 4 decades, diabetes has become the most important health problems in Mexico. It is the principal cause of death in women and second among men since the year 2000. In 2012 was reported that already 6.4 million of Mexican adults have a diagnosis of diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is a classic example of a complex disorder, consequence of the action and interaction of many genetics and non-genetic factors. In this context, the PhD Sanchez Corona and his study group, located in Guadalajara, Mexico, has been studied the association between type 2 diabetes, genetic polymorphisms, and etiologic factors, like insulin resistance. In this context, they report the insulin receptor, and insulin receptor substrate, one genes, polymorphisms in different populations of Mexico. When they studied an urban population from Yucatan, here, sorry. Oh, I don't know what I do. No. Ya no sé, le estoy pasando, sorry. From Yucatan, Mexico, localized on southern Mexico, who have high prevalence of metabolic syndrome. However, the prevalence of type 2 diabetes is the lowest in country. They showed a statistical significant association of ME8E3 polymorphisms insulin gene with several features of the metabolic syndrome, particularly hypertriglyceridemia. Contrary, when they studied Individuals from Santiago Jamiltepec, a small indigenous community from Oaxaca with the same prevalence of type 2 diabetes, they found the same association. However, they report an haplotype present with high frequency in the subject with normal insulin levels. Later, they report not association between preeclampsia and the polymorphisms studied in Mexican women from Guadalajara, Mexico, a state with higher prevalence of metabolic syndrome and type 2 diabetes. Then Oaxaca and Yucatan, 5.6 to 7.6%. Type 2 diabetes is a chronic degenerative disease with physiopathology is associated with low-intensity chronic inflammation. In this context, the Sanchez-Corona group report that the frequency of TNF-alpha GA haplotypes created by the minus 300 and AG and minus 228 A allele was significantly increasing in women with type 2 diabetes from Guadalajara, Mexico. In the same results were observed in patients with type 2 diabetes from Colima, Michoacán, and Nayarit, places where the prevalence of diabetes is higher, 10.1%. Additionally, interleukin-6 minus 174 CG and TNF-alpha minus 300 and AGA allele frequency observed in adolescents from Guadalajara, Mexico, was similar to data for other Mexican population. In this population, the type 2, the C-reactive protein plus 1,444 CT polymorphisms was associated with C-reactive protein. Levels in the interleukin-6 minus 170 C was found with low C-reactive protein levels on the overweight group. Based on the sample frame, 9 Mexican population, 5 mestizos and 4 native, were genotyped by Sanchez-Corona group and our group, the study for lymphotoxin alpha plus 252 AG and TNF-alpha minus 300 and AGA and for TNF microsatellite. Among the mestizos, the only significant difference was observed in Guadalajara-Puebla pair. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, creo que ya... In addition, we observed mestizos. In addition, it's with observed that North mestizos population from Durango and Monterrey fueron genetic closer to Caucasian compared with those from the South, Puebla, and Tierra Blanca, who were more closer relative to indigenous people. This difference between Mexicans from North and Southern region is in accordance with previous reports and with the results obtained for the other genetic markers. According with the National Survivor, the prevalence of diabetes is previously diagnosed in the state of Puebla was 6.3. Was 6.3% at 8.47 respectively, with greater prevalence of obesity. Our group and Sanchez-Corona study groups was determined for minus 174 and minus 480 interleukin 6 haplotypes to present of GG and CI haplotypes in subjects, not first-degree relatives and pacientes with diabetes, also homozygotos CCA, All homozygous CC haplotypes were rare. Hence, carriers of these haplotypes and heterozygous GGCC were compared with homozygous GGA. Homozygous GGE show a significant frequency of diabetes and also exhibit a significant association with diabetes. And as we can see in the table, this relationship of obesity and insulin resistance and obesity with hyperinsulinemia was modified by the presence of this haplotype. Later, similarly as the previous studies, subjects with family history of type 2 diabetes showed a higher prevalence of hyperinsulinemia and insulin resistance than those without family history. In these subjects with family history of diabetes was observed a lower prevalence on hyperinsulinemia and insulin resistance and more ACG interleukin-6 haplotype carriers. Furthermore, this haplotype modified the association between insulin resistance and family history of diabetes, not significant to the significant to not significant. Therefore, our results together suggest that this haplotype may represent a genetic marker for reduced risk of type 2 diabetes among Mexican subjects from PREVA. However, future studies are needed to clarify the precise role of interleukin-6 gene polymorphisms and interleukin-6 levels and to confirm our observation in ethnical definite population. Unfortunately, we do not have the opportunity to measure the serum levels of cytokines and provide a correlation between genotypes and levels. On the other hand, our proposal is to describe the association among family history of diabetes and the cardiovascular disease. To this end, we designed a cross-section study that includes Mexican subjects from Puebla. Our results support and extend previous studies where family history of diabetes was shown to be associated with decreasing insulin sensitivity and impaired imbalance between insulin sensitivity and insulin secretion. In contrast, we observed that first-degree relatives of patients with diabetes show no significant difference in the incidence of risk factor for cardiovascular disease. Then we concluded that the probable diabetes risk factor but not cardiovascular disease risk factor are associated with a positive family history of diabetes in subjects from central Mexico independent of the presence of obesity. Also in this context, in a study by our research group, we found the Mexican subject with overweight obesity exhibit increasing cardiovascular risk as well as higher serum levels of the antioxidant enzyme glutathione peroxidase 3, comparing with lean subjects, and that glutathione peroxidase 3 correlated with the triglycerides high-density lipoprotein. However, we found no association between SNPs of GP3 with metabolic syndrome, but the triacylglycerides high-density lipoprotein index was associated with the presence of the T allele of the minus 3002 AT polymorphisms, even when adjusted for age, gender, and body mass muscle. We suggested that the high GP3 concentration in this subject is consistent with an early stage of adiposity in which there is great differentiation of adiposity adipocytes and decrease production of TNF-alpha, where glutathione peroxidase 3 expression is not being inhibited. One limitation of our studies are the small size. However, the validate of genetic association studying depends considerably on the use appropriate population, which should follow the Hardy-Weaver equilibrium. We estimate the Hardy-Weaver equilibrium for the general population and study population with available power to determine deviation. Moreover, and as expected for a sample collection from a large city, no inbreeding was observed in either population. Coupled with this, we have adequate statistic power to detect association. Environment and change health promoter among professors of university is a proposal for develop a healthy environment to convert the university into a space suitable eating habits and life. The professor suffers detrimental change in eating behavior and physical activity, affecting its nutritional, physical, and healthy status, increasing the risk of developing chronic disease. Early detection and timely treatment to risk factor and risk lifestyles reduce the occurrence of chronic degenerative disease, such as type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease, which reduce the quality of adult life. In addition, several studies have shown that environment influences the incidence of diabetes and cardiovascular disease. Proof is the much lower prevalence of type 2 diabetes in obesity and the Pima Indians in Mexico than in the USA. Recently, our study group is focused on performing nutritional counseling and exercise control in a group of professors from Puebla, Mexico. This not only for the purpose of reducing the risk of cardiovascular disease and diabetes, but also with the purpose of studying whether the association of these risks with the previously mentioned polymorphisms roaming in these subjects. Through the presentation, some of the research involved in the project has been a part to who also thank you them for the support and effort given. Before I want to go, everyone, today I appreciate your attention. I wish you all a good day. Thank you. Oh my God. I'm very nervous. Sorry.
Any questions?
Yes, I did that.
Hold on one second.
Sorry about that. How long did she was time? Okay.
All right. So.
I have two questions for you.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
One is a little bit polemic, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, some people in the journal that I work do not believe in the concept of insulin resistance, because what they argue is that this is a circular concept that for so many years are bringing us to a nowhere land. So I found very interesting when you showed up a zone, an area in Mexico where you had the highest prevalence of metabolic syndrome and the lowest prevalence of diabetes. So it makes sense. This was one comment for you that do genetics on diabetes, which is a very complex field, I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other issue was the paper which was awarded in the journal that I work, the British Medical Journal. There is no way that you can predict which will be the population who will develop type 2 diabetes or not. So there was a prospective clinical trial with 30,000 people in each place. They went to high-risk people, 30,000, and did intensive lifestyle intervention and screening.
Oh, yes, they are screened.
30, and I think this was published in the Lancet, I think. I'm not so sure. Was in the year 2013. Another 30,000 people, which were high risk, but did only conventional risk factor intervention. And there was about 10,000 people to which they did nothing. They were, let's say, blind people, and the hard endpoint was 10 years all-cause mortality. There was a little bit increase in diabetes diagnosis, not too much. We don't have a reliable risk score for prediction of type 2 diabetes. But in the 10-year all-cause mortality, among those three groups, there was no difference at all. So the point, is it worthy